Across the Trench Crusade lore, a key figure for the Iron Sultanate is Solomon. We have mention of him when it comes to the alchemists, who used the Key of Solomon, the Seal of Solomon, and something not related to him, apart from being used by the alchemists, the Emerald Tablet, which we'll also cover. I will go over the trench lore for you, then dive into where it's mentioned in real-world myth. So, welcome back to the trenches, and let's begin. To become an alchemist is no easy task. They undergo many trials on their path to mastery. First are the countless lessons of the newly initiated, studying the Jabarian corpus, translating the Keys of Solomon, and learning all the fundamental disciplines of their primeval science. It's only after 7 years of study, under the watchful and exacting eyes of the High Alchemagi, is an aspirant allowed to attempt the trials for full membership in the order. The first trial is to create a suit of alchemist's armour, which protects against harm. This is an essential tool of their craft, festooned with the seals of Solomon, which enables them to bend the elements of creation to their will and shields them even from the devices of hell. So what are the keys in real-world myth? We will return to the seal later. The key, according to the Queen University Belfast, is a grimoire or book of spells, which was written by King Solomon. King Solomon was regarded as a master of all forms of secret knowledge, enshrining this in the features of his temple, and occult philosophers of the time often prided themselves on being the custodians and proponents of higher forms of knowledge with an ancient lineage. It's divided into several books. The first, the Ars Goetia, the term refers to the evoking, calling, or summoning of 72 demons of, and is similar to a name in Trench Crusade lore of Goetic magic, which is used by the followers of the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, and is powered by pain and suffering. For each demon, the book details names, powers, sigils, and methods for the summoning of them. In Ars Goetia, and feel free to correct my pronunciation down in the comments, this ties into the alchemists summoning spirits, perhaps that part of what is put into attack wing. Here it shows how to invoke and work with good and evil spirits, such as aerial ones. The others, not really relevant for us, are the Ars Paulina, which deals with the realms of angels. The Ars Almadel is about the creation of magical objects. Perhaps some of this goes into the summoning of the homunculus of the alchemists. And the last deals with the summoning of angels. It will be interesting if some of the aspects were explored or expanded upon in terms of the suite of abilities that the alchemists can call upon. The Iron Sultanate employs alchemists who are scholars trained in the house of wisdom that can create life called takwins. Takwins are commanded by the power of the Seal of Solomon to fight and fall in battle in thousands of agonizing ways, only to be raised again and shaped into ever more unnatural forms to suit the needs of their masters. The Seal of Solomon is also called the Ring of Solomon and is usually shown as a pentagram or hexagram. It's believed the ring lets him speak with and command spirits, animals and demons. Amongst what it can command are Shidium, evil spirits that cause maladies and ailments. So not your Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, demons and jinn. And I wonder if this might tie into them being able to command elements such as fire. I'm talking about the jinn and invoking them with this device so that they can control that element. So the ring in Crusade has some binding command perhaps. Without it, the creatures would have too much free will and could not be pressed into the command of the Iron Sultanate and the war with Shaitan as easily. Some writers say the ring was engraved by God and given to King Solomon directly, which is possible within the Trench Crusade lore. Within it also, alchemists are the battlefield mystics and artificers of the great Sultanate of the Iron Wall, schooled in the hidden knowledge of the legendary Smaragdine Tablet within the House of Wisdom. Admission is open to any with will and intellect, deemed sufficient, be they man or woman. Named after the deadly hunters of the plains, the lions of Jabir can take many forms, not all of them leonine. The esoteric arts the Alchemaga employ are learned through the study of forbidden Book of Solomon, and many alchemists are killed when they experiment, fail, or run amok. However, the lions are in desperate demand by the army of the Sultanate, so the program continues regardless of cost and casualties. That tablet also has a real world reference. There, the tablet, or the Emerald Tablet as I will call it, so I don't have to butcher that name again, according to the Britannica, is part of a larger text, the Book of the Secrets of Creation. It proposes all things are made of 3 parts, heat, cold and moisture and dryness, and also that all metals are formed from sulfur and mercury. So they're all made of 4 parts, not 3. According to the ancient origins.net, the Emerald Tablet would become one of the pillars of Western alchemy. It was a highly influential text in medieval and Renaissance alchemy, and probably still is today. In addition to translations of the Emerald Tablet, numerous commentaries have also been written regarding its contents, and with these commentaries are different contents. One mentioned that's relevant for the trench law is, for instance, it suggests that the text describes 7 stages of alchemical transformation: calcination, dissolution, separation, conjunction, fermentation, distillation, and coagulation. So that's all the law I have for you today. I do have a law making update, i.e. what I'm working on right now. This one, obviously, a video discussing how trench crusade warfare might work in the Crusade based on 2 World War I Osprey books I've got my hands on, and mixed with the weapons and the flavour from the lore. Still working out how those 2 parts will come together. We will see. Also working on a video about England's moving fortress, the general law around it and how some of it may tie to the naval side of the Crusade. Not sure if they will be a sole video or 2 separate ones. After that, I think I will look at the Hellmouth of the North, and just to say here on the Trench Crusade Facebook page, they put out new lore every week pretty much, so you can find posts on there, though I will get to everything in the end. Also, if audio is your thing and you want it quickly, you can go over to a channel by a YouTuber called Scanner Barkley. Normally he has a video up based on the Facebook post within about an hour of the post. So for his channel, sub of that. I'm really enjoying researching the historical side of things based on the references within the trench lore to try and explain or theorise on things. And I might at some point do some as a real world lore thing if I really like it and if there are no tie-ins to the trench lore. So I'm watching an anime on Netflix at the moment, and this ties into actually what I'm talking about. You might be surprised to hear. It's called Spriggan. I watched the first episode. I'm not going to carry on watching it, but the main character has a bodily enhancing suit that is made in part from orichalcum. Now this is the metal made in Trench Crusade lore that has meant people can still wear armour and take bullets and missile hits. And it's mentioned a few times in the lore. So in hearing it was in Spriggan, I knew there had to be more to it. And it's actually a metal mentioned in ancient texts, some of which are linked to Atlantis. So there are surprising connections sometimes on these things. So anyway, let me know what you think to the real world and trench lore in this video. And if you like this video on Trench Crusade, you might also like this one. And if you want a load of them, well, check out the Trench Crusade playlist, also on this channel.